So first, I can't tell you how great it is to be back here at Sun and Fun in Lakeland. I've been coming here since 2010, 2011, I think, for a couple other shows here. We usually crew some aggressor jets that we had over at Draken. So it's absolutely wonderful to be home. And I also I want to thank the NASA team that, they were managing somewhat of a thing the last couple of weeks as we send astronauts farther into space than ever before, and we're able to get Guppy here, not to mention the T-30A. We are just getting going on the whole aviation thing. Let me tell you, we got a lot of cool aircraft at NASA, and we're going to get them out on the road. They're going to come here to Sun and Fun like you've seen, but we're going to bring them to Oshkosh air shows on the West Coast, East Coast, because this is America's 250th birthday, and we're going to celebrate at NASA. So I'll tell you a little bit about what you should expect to see over the next couple of years from the world's most accomplished space agency. So opening act, Artemis 2, right? What a mission. Reed, Victor, Christina, Jeremy did an absolutely outstanding job on that mission. The workforce from across NASA, our civil servants, our contractors, all of our industry partners, our international partners that came together to take on the near impossible again. And I'll tell you, that mission was a great success. Now, we've learned an awful lot from it, for sure. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. When you're not in a rhythm of launching moon rockets, and we haven't been for about 53 years, you expect to learn. There are things we're going to make better about the hardware, things we're going to make better about the software. We're going to update our procedures a little bit, tighten things up, do some rolling, some training improvements, and we're bringing all that into Artemis 3, which is going to launch in 2027. So you think about it, what you all just witnessed in Artemis 2, it's kind of a combination of Apollo 7 and 8 coming together. It was our opportunity to check out the ECLA which is the life support systems of the Orion spacecraft, as well as the SLS rocket, and we sent them around the moon. And it was, like I said, it was a really great mission. What comes next is essentially the equivalent of Apollo 9. So Artemis 3, we will launch into what's most likely low Earth orbit, and we will rendezvous the Orion spacecraft with likely both of our landers, so the SpaceX lander and the Blue Origin lander. Let me tell you, this is going to be cool. Now, the pictures that came back from Artemis 2 were really wild. I mean, they were just outright exceptional. But what you're going to see with Artemis 3 is going to be equally very cool. We're talking about, in very short succession, 3 of the most powerful rockets in the world are going to have to launch to put Orion into Earth orbit, to put the Blue Origin lander into Earth orbit, and for SpaceX to put their HLS Starship into Earth orbit. I mean, all of this is going to happen in, call it, like a week. Like, we haven't fully dialed in the mission plan, but expect it to be in kind of that neighborhood. That's going to be cool. I mean, on a display, and then you're going to see Boeing and Volby and Cock with those 2 landers, so we can test out the interoperability of the vehicles. That we will learn from, for sure. I have no doubt that will result in some hardware improvements, some software improvements, again, procedures and training updates. It should give us the confidence to move on to Artemis 4 in 2028, and that's your Apollo 11. That's where you're going to see American astronauts walk on the moon again. I mean, even though we are building on the incredible legacy of the pioneers of the 1960s and picking up where Apollo 17 left off, we are not just going back for the footprints, the lag, and the rocks this time. We are absolutely going back to stay. In parallel with everything I just talked you through, we're going to build a moon base. Starting in early 2027, you are going to be able to witness on a near monthly cadence uncrewed robotic landings on the south pole of the moon. We're going to throw everything at this, and we are going to learn. Some of it's going to work, some of it's not. This is an incredibly challenging environment in the South Pole. I mean, you have permanently shaded regions down there. You've got water ice, which is predominantly the reason why we've chosen that location. But you're going to, again, see landers, rovers testing crewed, uncrewed mobility, power, surface comms, orbital comms. We're going to have observation capabilities. We are going to set up a moon-based website so you can follow along as this all comes together. And then it'll pretty cool to think about, guys. There'll be no doubters this time, I'm telling you. And And what's our goal when we have astronauts working, working alongside the moon base as it comes together? No doubt, lots of scientific opportunities. I can tell you, I've said it many times, we could go to every one of the 10 major NASA centers, raid the pantry of all the scientific instruments we have available, and there would be still so much excess mass and volume on all these landers and rovers that are going to go to the surface of the moon. So we're going to go out, we're working with industry, academia. I mean, there are going to be university students here in America, really all around the world, that are going to be building scientific instruments and tech demonstrations that are going to be on the moon in the next couple of years. It'll be a pretty wild experience. We're going to do this to learn everything we can from the scientific perspective and economic perspective. Can we unlock a lunar economy? That would be pretty cool. But we're also going to do it for tech demonstration. We're going to work with the water ice on the south pole of the moon. We're going to demonstrate in situ resource manufacturing so we can make propellant. And why is this important? Because we need this environment to master the skills for the day that we send American astronauts to Mars and be able to bring them home safely. So what that means, I tell you, when you see NASA astronauts on Artemis 4 step off those landers onto the surface of the moon, know that we are very close at that point in time to being able to actually send astronauts to Mars. The velocity difference is negligible between going to the moon or Mars, and we already know how to keep astronauts alive for a long time in space. Any of you in this crowd that are 25 years old or younger, you haven't lived at a time where we didn't have astronauts alive continuously on the International Space Station. So we know how to do this. The hard part is once you get them there, how do you bring them back? We're going to have to make propellant on Mars to do so. We're going to prove it out a couple days from Earth on the moon, and then we're going to apply that to a future Mars mission. Now, this is all in line with President Trump's national space policy of returning to the moon, to do so to stay. But he also said in the policy that he signed on my first day on the job was make investments in the next giant leap capabilities to go beyond the moon. So I'll tell you, in 2028, we are going to launch the first of its kind mission. I mean, a total throwback to the days we could undertake big, bold endeavors that people would think impossible. We are going to launch the first of its kind nuclear-powered interplanetary spacecraft. We are going to send it to Mars, might even go past Mars, but as it approaches, it's going to release the Skyfall payload. This is 3 Ingenuity-class copters, like helicopters, that are going to fly around the red planet and scout it out. They're going to use ground-penetrating radar. They're going to find good sites for future crewed landings. They're going to look for water ice that could be under the surface. Incredible mission, but it's going to be an important stepping stone for America to get underway on nuclear power in space so we can start to explore the solar system around us. What else are we doing? We're going to still send astronauts to space on a good cadence every 6 to 9 months approximately. You'll see a crewed mission launched from Kennedy Space Center to go to the International Space Station, where we work to ignite the orbital economy. So that way, for all the kids here, you grow up in a world with lots of commercial space stations. Having more people living and working in space is one of our biggest goals at NASA. And I'll tell you what else, we still have some absolutely inspiring scientific missions that are going to launch in the next couple of years that no one other than NASA would be capable of pulling off. I told you about the nuclear powered mission in Skyfall. We are going to launch Dragonfly. Dragonfly is a nuclear powered octocopter. It is a 1,000 kilogram drone. So this thing's a monster with a radioactive power source. And we are sending it to Saturn's moon of Titan, and it's going to explore around looking for biosignatures. Unbelievable. If you've never heard of Dragonfly, look it up. It's one of the coolest missions you ever launch. Later this year, 2026, we're going to launch the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope at Kennedy Space Center on a Falcon Heavy, which is a very cool rocket. And what is this thing going to do? It's going to go out and try and unlock the secrets of the universe. This telescope's got 100 times the field of view. The Hubble telescope, 1,000 times the scan rate, right? And we got more coming up. So this is your NASA, everyone. We changed the world July 20th, 1969. We're about to do it again. Just stay tuned over the years ahead. And happy to take any questions you have.